So just a quick reminder of what 10,000 feet is. We have a table outside if you want to learn more, but it is planning software to manage your business, and includes resource planning, project planning, time tracking, and analytics. What I wanted to talk about now over the next 10 minutes is this report that we partnered on with the Bureau of Digital. And we had a survey of 50 digital PMs, and we kind of asked them questions around what they think the current status is of managing projects and where they think this is going to go in the future. And on your table there is a flyer that gives you the URL kind of like to the report if you want to go check it out. Like for now, I just wanted to focus on kind of like one element that came out of the report, and that is that like half of you and other PMs that filled out the first survey said that 75% of the projects come in over budget. Right? So the other half might have said only 50% or 25%, but half said 75% went over budget. It seems like a lot. And just to give a little bit of background on me and where I'm coming from, like I wear many hats, but first and foremost, I'm a designer, and I'm not a stranger to projects running over budget. Like at Microsoft, I worked on Windows Vista, which lasted 5 years and went 3 years over budget. And then I led a lot of projects at Artifact, both kind of like as a designer and a project manager. And now we're at 10,000 feet. We are also facing kind of like similar issues. And I think one thing that I've learned is that, like, with creative ideas, you can control kind of like the outcome of projects quite a bit. And what I wanted to do is give you a little bit of insight, kind of like what we do internally, like how we're evolving our processes towards staying on budget, right? So we might say, let's build this feature, or let's build this functionality, or if you compare it to an agency example, you could say, let's build an event website, and you get going. So let's think about kind of like a project that might not go totally on track. So initially, the target is kind of like towards the right. Initially, the project is going well, but pretty soon it might go kind of like off track. And before you know it, kind of like the project is in a state where it might go in any direction, like you get feedback from the client, from the team members, and things will go off track quite a bit. So what you might do is try to chop up the project into smaller pieces, try to get control of it, but pretty soon it ends up like off target, like over budget, and coming in too late. So one of the major things that's happening in these types of projects, and this is not different for us, like we use kind of like an agile process, but it's not different whether it's kind of like a waterfall or agile, is that work very quickly becomes a game of telephone. And it's kind of funny when kids do that, when they, you know, like the end result or the goal is that the message gets garbled at the end, and it's funny, right? But what's happening in work is the same thing is happening, and for one, it's not that funny, and two, no one is actually realizing that this is happening, right? So, like think about a scenario where a planner or the account manager might gather the requirements. Some of these might be from the client, let's say. Some of these might be misguided. A designer will do his best to design it. Might include kind of like a mechanism that's very interesting to the designer. And the developer will do his best to execute on this design. Not knowing maybe that the mechanism is very, not that essential to the final outcome, and maybe it adds up to kind of like half of what the work was. And the problem is that kind of like as a team, like when this game of telephone happens, is that they don't have kind of like this common purpose or like a clear reason to question each other's work and kind of like ask why. And so what we have been doing kind of like internally at 10,000 feet is like turn kind of like the process around and really focus all the work kind of like on the outcome first. Like instead of rallying kind of like around the solution and really kind of like focus on the detail of the solution. We focus on the outcome first. And the outcome kind of like guides all project decisions, and all decisions are kind of like measured against the outcome. And so the outcome is basically defined as like value to the user, like value to the business and the client, and a desired quality. And like it's written down in as much detail as it can be, except that what's never specified is the solution itself. And for every project that we start on, we will start with this, write kind of like the outcome of it, and work on not kind of like making sure that the solution is not specified in it. And you can level up this outcome by asking kind of like whys. You can use like 5 why like techniques to kind of like figure out kind of like, are you high enough on the outcome that it is like far enough away from the solution and not too high, right? Like so for like this events website, maybe the outcome is that visitors can buy tickets rather than kind of like other aspects of the website, and that might be kind of like the ultimate outcome. And you can level up to high as well when when maybe your outcome is making money for your client. And for us, the PMs are kind of like the guardians of these outcomes. So they define it up front, and throughout the project, they will constantly come back in this conversation. And so if you think of it like that, if I have that same picture again of starting the project, and you think of kind of like we want to reach that outcome, like any solution that you come up with is good, right? Like there's no, like if the ultimate outcome is to reach this point, then I think this is kind of like the mindset shift that you need to kind of like make a bit, is that there are many solutions that can reach this outcome. And from simple to complex, but one is not necessarily worse than the other, right? They all are getting us where we want to go. So then if you realize that, then all the work that you have to do is find a solution that fits within the budget and that doesn't go over budget, right? Like pick the simple one, don't pick the complex one. And like what we're doing is, like we're turning it around, so we say, well, this is the outcome. We want to spend 3 sprints on this, and then we go look for solutions that fit that outcome exactly, rather than try to look for solutions that are 8-sprint outcomes. So we're turning the estimation process around, and the team, kind of like as a group, is charged with coming up with solutions within the budget. How do you select solutions that stay on target? I mean, it sounds very, very straightforward. And like the way to do that is to kind of like stay within the known. Like if this circle represents everything I know, right? If I pick a solution kind of like within that realm, this is my experience as a professional. If I come up with solutions within that, like I will be more in control of the outcome than when I pick solutions outside of this. Like let's say I'm throwing a dinner party, and if I pick a recipe that I've done many times, so kind of like within kind of like the realm of what I know, like I know I'm going to be done at 6. If I pick something kind of like outside, like we might still be hungry at 9 o'clock because things go off track quite a bit. So like for one person that's easy to understand, but kind of like for a team, you want to leverage kind of like the whole team's kind of like library of knowledge and what they know, and really focus on solutions that are within this space. And for us, the way we kind of like drive towards that is to really optimize for kind of a T-shaped career path. So a T-shaped person is very deep in one discipline, so kind of like the vertical, but is well versed in kind of like other disciplines. Like as a project manager, you're probably inherently that, right? Where you're really good in project and people skills, and that's kind of like the deep bar, but then kind of like sufficiently skilled in all the other ones so that you can collaborate with people. Like we like all our disciplines to be that. So the developer is like this would be a picture of what a developer might look like, very deep in engineering, but like enough skill in design and business that they can collaborate with the designer. So that in the end, when they select solutions, so this is like the team is charged, like the feature team would be charged with kind of like coming up with solutions that towards the outcome within the budget, they can collaborate and come up with that. And it doesn't mean that these ideas are kind of like rehashing old ideas. Like you can compare it to building a building where an architect can use traditional building materials or traditional processes and still come up with very exciting and new work. So for us, kind of like a way kind of like to really stay on budget, again, is kind of like define the outcome first, describe that well, be very open to many different solutions that might get you to the outcome, and just like find a solution that you're totally in control of and that is very simple, and rather than kind of like the first solution that comes in and you're just kind of like constantly tweaking details that might not matter at all. So to end, again, the report has more of those kind of like findings and ideas. So like one is around budget, others are around transparency. You can find the URL on the flyer, and it's right here as well. So thanks, and yeah, thank you.